something that isn't always so great is when people pass away without a will. And this is why in National Wills Week, from the 16th to 20th of September, we are getting into why wills are so important and what it is that you can do to make sure that you and your loved ones are sorted when it comes to that. And today, we actually get to sit down with someone who has all of the details we need when it comes to wills and just what we actually mean when we say you're leaving behind a legacy and allowing your wishes to be honored when you're no longer around, and that it's not just a piece of paper. It is, of course, none other than Dylan Subramanian, who is here to let us know how each and every individual should safeguard their future and that of their loved ones. And of course, he is the head of fiduciary advisory and fulfillment at Absa Trust. Everyone, let's give him a feel-good welcome. Dylan, how are you?
I'm very well, Zanella, and yourself?
I'm amazing, thank you.
Awesome.
Dylan, I'm amazing because, do you know what? There are so many of us who do not have wills in this country. It's less than 15% of South Africans that actually do have them. And I need to know, why is it that so many of us, we just do not actually take it upon ourselves to get a will? Why is it so low? And what are the consequences of families that are left behind?
Zanella, it's such an important question. And if you look at South Africans in general, I think it's why they delay estate planning is just that discomfort, emotional topic of mortality. And also included is the lack of understanding when it comes to legal requirements of getting a will done and the misconceptions that go along with it.
Yes.
So if you look at it, some people believe that they are not wealthy enough to have a will, but a will does not only deal with your wealth, it deals with guardianship for minor children. There's a lot of other important topics that go along with it in a will as well.
I love the fact that you just said that it's not only about money, because I think a lot of people actually think that. And it really is just about your wishes and what you'd want even for your loved ones. 100%. That's so important. But let's talk a little bit about the misconceptions of wills, because just like you even said now, some people don't 100% know what it's for.
Yes.
What are the things that people aren't 100% clear about when it comes to wills in South Africa?
I think it boils down to, if you look at young people as an example, I think young people fail to understand the unpredictability of life. And then again, another topic is obviously understanding that sometimes wealthy wills only meant for wealthy people. But like I said, you need to deal with other topics in your will as well. And it also it boils down to people not actually understanding what a will does to your loved ones after you passed away.
Yes.
I think that's also very important to grasp the importance of getting a will and ensuring that your will is valid at the time of death.
Incredible. And I'm so glad we're having this conversation, because we know that Wills Week is all about access to justice as well as information and public education as a whole. But what role does Absa play as a financial institution in allowing this all to work together and allowing people to be in a better place when it comes to wills?
100%. So Wills Week was started by the Law Society of South Africa. It's been around since 2008.
Yes.
We at Absa support this initiative. I think it goes back to what the couple of questions you asked previously, is that we want to educate the South African public and bring more awareness around the importance of wills and having wills in place, and how does it actually protect your loved ones when you're not here any longer. So we are enhancing our tools, the way we do business. We bring in that empathy conversation and the professionalism to those conversations to ensure that we do support our South Africans around this topic. And
you're doing it amazingly, Dylan. We appreciate you guys. I mean, even you being here and us having this conversation is exactly that. But let's talk about estate planning, because we know it's not just about wealth, it's about responsibility. What is it that you would say to young people who aren't 100% clear about why it is that they need to have a will? You know, let's say it's someone who's a single parent, an entrepreneur, or even just someone who doesn't even have kids or any real dependents. What would you say they need to know?
Well, if you look at a young person or a young professional, I think it's an opportunity to start at an early stage to dictate where your assets, especially digital currency, if you look at that example, where that should go to after your death, and helps you plan it. For a single parent, I think we touched on this topic. It's about providing guardianship or naming a guardian for your child when you're no longer around. It's also about protecting your minor child's inheritance when you're not here as well. having a testamentary trust put into place for them.
Yeah.
And if you look at entrepreneurs, it's just giving them an opportunity to consider how their business interests are then managed when they're not here any longer.
Yes. And of course, I know that you as Absa, you've got different tools that can help us out when it comes to these wills. Talk to us about that. What can we actually come through to you guys and have when we talk about our wills?
100%. So at Absa, we are enhancing our wills drafting and estate planning and the way we come across to South Africans. Part of this is obviously digitalizing our world. If you look at our current Absa online app, you have access to your will. Through that banking app, you can engage with Absa Trust through that app as well.
Wow.
At the corner of this strategy is also our wills drafting center or a center of excellence, where you can get a will drafted within 30 minutes of having a conversation with one of our experts online.
That's incredible.
So it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. We try to make it more affordable and more accessible to South Africans.
You know, they say where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's no will, there's Absa that can help you out
100%.
to make sure that your story doesn't indeed matter. I love
correct.
that. But Dylan, thank you so much for the great work that you guys are doing. I think it is so important. And even with you talking about, you know, that there's ways that you help us to draft our wills as Absa, what are some of the different drafting misconceptions that there are around wills? Can you just touch on that as well?
Yeah, 100%. So if you look at some of the drafting misconceptions, like I said, wealth, being wealthy and needing a will, that's one of them.
Yes.
But I think more importantly, it's around just making sure that you get your will, what's the word I'm looking for, redrafted or reviewed on a regular basis.
Amazing.
I think that does definitely help the misconceptions. It helps you plan for the future. It helps you plan it during your life stages as well, because we all know that your circumstances do change during your life stages, and having a will reviewed regularly, especially on major life events like you see, for example, childbirth, marriage, divorce.
Yes.
All of that does assist in that planning exercise.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dylan.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it.
Awesome.
And Mzansi, we told you it is National Wills Week, and I hope that you have a will. If you don't, Absa is here to help you out indeed. And this is why we're so glad that we have these kinds of incredible humans that can always make sure that we are looking after ourselves as well as our loved ones. Because it's not just a document, it's your legacy. And for more information, visit absa.africa.
We see the person behind the banking profile. We see your story. Expresso was proudly brought to you by Absa. Your story matters.